So, welcome to this practice where we're going to explore connection. And this will be a balanced class. So, as we move towards the end of the sequence, we'll be coming into some more restorative poses. So, if you do have access to a bolster, such as I have here, that might be nice for the end. It never matters, of course, if you don't. And you can make your own bolster with a couple of cushions or bed pillows and maybe wrapping a towel around. So let us start today in an upright position and come to whichever way is comfortable for you. That might be cross-legged, it might be kneeling. But if you're really exhausted or need to rest, perhaps you do lie down. So it really doesn't matter. And we'll take the mudra that the Buddha often used, one hand to your heart and one hand to the ground. And this is symbolic of connecting to ourselves as well as connecting to the earth beneath us. And if it's comfortable for you to do so now, can you close the eyes? And just take a moment to land from the out there and then. You may have had a busy day so far. And let's breathe in as we connect to the here and now. And in some cultures, the word for breath is the same as spirit, spiritus, to inspire. The idea that when we breathe well and slowly, we start to connect to something outside of ourselves. If that's a little bit too spiritual, we certainly connect to our nervous system and something shifts. So can we now just focus on the next 3 or 4 breaths, making them as deep and as spacious and as full as you can. And then rest the hands, palm down if you're feeling a bit agitated, palms up if you're feeling a little bit sleepy. And this time we'll connect the thumb and the index finger, whichever way round. They're 2 mudras. And just take a moment with your eyes closed now, if that's comfortable, connecting to the earth beneath you. And you feel the hard edges of your feet, your sit bones. A reminder that the earth is always there holding us, supporting us. All our resources come from the earth. And from there, elongate your spine as you take your awareness to the crown of the head, connecting to the skies, the heavens, the cosmos. And just focus on the energy rising now as you breathe from the base of the spine to the crown. Crown to the base of the spine. Connecting your awareness to the breath. And now visualize the area around you, the back, the front, the side body, connecting you to everything that surrounds you, your community. And then stay with that connection to the breath now as we establish a template for today's practice, which is breathing in for a count of 4, breathing out for a sound of 4. And then let's take the palms flat to the knees now as we start to do circles. The circles and cycles connect us to the seasons, the moon, a reminder that everything moves in seasons and cycles, including our own personal stuff. But just keep moving and circling, feeling the lower back. And there's a quote I heard last week: the good news is nothing lasts forever. But the bad news is nothing lasts forever. Let's change the direction of our circles now and just see what's going on in your body today. Stay with that connection to the breath. And then spiral into stillness. And as you come back to stillness, reminder of the earth beneath you. And now reach for the sky as you take those arms overhead. Slowly bring the hands to center. We're just doing this to regulate the breath. Inhale, arms open wide. Exhale, hands come to center. And one more of those. This time, keep the arms up. Gaze towards the sky. Cross your thumbs and interlace your fingers. Just have the pointer fingers, the index fingers coming up. And then just lean to the left. As you lean to the left, anchor that right sit bone down and breathe all the way into the right side. Come all the way up. And do that on the other side. Keep anchoring the roots as you reach into the breathe into the left side. And come all the way up. And take the fingers behind you now. And as you root them down, elongate the heart, the chest, lifting up. Take the head back and then take a deep breath into the center of the heart. And now breathe in some more. And now open your mouth. What do you need to let go of? Maybe there's a thought that's a bit persistent today. Let's do that one more time. Maybe there's a tightening of the body. Breathing in. Breathe in some more. And release. And now let's come on to all fours. So we're going to come into some what I call animal shakes now, just as a way, again, to connect to the breath and connect the body to the breath. As you inhale, lift your heart. This is the cow pose. As you exhale, sit back in child's pose. Inhale, back to cow pose, lift the heart. Exhale, down to dog, downward facing dog. Inhale, knees down, heart lifts, cow pose. Exhale, child. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, dog. Remember, it's a 4 in, 4 out breath. We've got lots of time. 2 more of these. Inhale, cow. Exhale, child. Inhale, cow. Exhale, dog. And you may be quicker or slower than me. Just work at your own rhythm. Connect to yourself. Just do one more. I won't cue this time. You forget, doesn't matter. And we're going to stay in downward facing dog and take a moment now. We're in autumn, really connecting to your roots. Lift your toes. Autumn can be a time when we feel more anxious. So root yourself, feel your fingers, feel your feet, feel the back of the legs and ease down those heels. Breathing in, lift heels up. Breathing out, heels come down. One more time, inhale. And back down. So this is weird what we're going to do now. Breathe in, lift up your left leg. As you breathe out, take the knee to the ground. So the knee comes through, left hand in front, left leg, and we're going to turn onto the side. And then sweep your right arm up towards the sky. So initially we're coming into this side balance, and then circle the right arm around you. Again, like the seasons, just moving into the shoulder. And as you've done one circle one way, let's change it into the other way. But now the hands are going to come forward. So we've got a very long right leg. Press into the outside edge of the right foot and breathe in as you lift the heart. Breathe out as you round the spine. So you're doing cat and cow, but with very different legs. Inhale, lift. Getting into that inner seam of the leg. One more time. And from here now, we're going to sweep the arms up to gate pose. The arms come overhead, reach for the sky again, hands to heart. And as you exhale, bow forward if you can. And as you inhale, come back up again, raising your arms. Exhale, hands to prayer. Inhale, we reach. Final time, hands to prayer as we bow. Maybe that's a connection to the divine. And then sweep the arms up again. Take a huge breath in. And then the right hand comes to the right leg as we sweep into the left arm. Take a deep breath into the left side. And come all the way back down again. So coming back onto all fours. Let's come back into downward facing dog. And before we do that on the other side, let's take a vinyasa. So breathe your way forward into a plank pose. Take a moment here connecting to your roots. Kick the heels back. Draw belly to spine. And for the first one, let's drop our knees down and roll onto the earth. Press down into your toenails, press into your hands and breathe in as the heart rises. Breathing out, we come back down again. With a soft bend in the knees, one breath into child's pose, and then back into downward facing dog. So you sort of know what's coming this side, doesn't mean it's going to be easy. Breathing in, we lift the right leg up this time. As we breathe out, knee to nose, and then we mindfully place that shin down. And then we turn straight away onto the side plane. Reach the left arm up to the sky. And let's do those circles, one in each direction. And we're doing familiar shapes, but sometimes in an unfamiliar way. And this is how we explore the body. So this time as the left arm lifts, we follow it up to gate pose. We reach the arms towards the sky. That's the inhale. As the exhale, hands to prayer, we fold. Explore how low you go. That will give you more of a stretch for the inner seam of the leg. Inhale, we rise. Nice full breaths. Exhale, we bow. Inhale, we rise. And bowing, of course, a gesture of reverence. Can we just give thanks for this day, this practice? Let's keep up now as we breathe in, sweep those arms out wide and lean to the left this time as we take a side stretch for the right side body. Huge breath. And let's cartwheel the hands forward once again. We're back onto all fours and we're coming into downward facing dog. Unless, of course, you need more of a resting child's pose. Press the floor away, lift up the thighs, the hips, the waistline. And as you breathe in, come forward. This time you might not drop the knees as you lower to the earth. Inhale, take a back bend of choice. Breathing out, downward facing dog. And take such a deep breath. Exhale. And then mindfully walk the feet forward. So autumn, again, a time of heightened anxiety. So feel those roots. And let's just strengthen the arches of our feet now. So press your big toes down as you lift the little toes up. All the other toes down, big toes lift. Then lift all the toes as you spread them. And then consciously press really firmly into the feet as you start to unravel your spine to stand. When we're feeling anxious, feeling our feet is really therapeutic. So press into the outside edges of the feet. Notice our tendency to roll inwards, which is why we get bunions. Big, deep breath in. And we'll come through the prayer of gratitude that is a sun salutation. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, long spine. Step back, right leg, then left. Downward dog or straight to plank. Breathe your way in forward. Lower to the earth. Inhale, we rise. Exhale. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take 3 deep breaths, really filling the back body with breath. At the end of this breath, you might choose to hop this time or take that slow mindful walk. Step or hop to the front of the mat. Breathing in flat back. Breathing out to fold. Breathe in, arms sweep up and overhead. And we're just going to loop into side 2. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, we lengthen the spine. Exhale, we fold. Step back left, then right. Downward dog or plank. Breathe your way forward into your vinyasa. Skipping them if you're tired. But really give yourself time to connect to the breath. We can hurry our yoga and not have any connection at all. So just pause in downward dog. And the quote I love is, the moment isn't here to be in the pose is here to be in the moment. So are you really connecting to yourself now, or are you planning lunch? Just notice. Lift up your heels, look forward, step or hop towards the front of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale to fold. Little bend in your knees as you rise up. Exhale, hands to prayer. So playing with a little bit of balance now. As you breathe in, take that mudra again. It's called Kali Mudra. We cross the thumbs. We have the pointer fingers up. Interlace the fingers. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, lean to the left and breathe into the right waist. Keep pressing into the feet, your roots. Inhale to center and lean to the left. So if you like a nice side stretch, this might be enough. This time, as we move to the left, pick up your right foot, and bring it out to the side and just explore balance. It doesn't have to be far. Really kick into the heel as you lean to the left. And we move our leg forward and back all the time when we walk. It's really important to bring the opposite movement in for the muscles. Drop the right foot, take a moment, reaching tall. Find your balance as you lean to the right, lifting up the left leg. And balance can be wobbling. Let's come back. Getting too good at this now. Let's try the left again as we lift up the right. This time, sweep the leg forward into a knee lift. Just reach the arms up now. And let's step back into a high lunge. Reach tall as you inhale. As you exhale, dip down a little bit. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, bend back knee. Final time. And now establish a nice steady breath for 2 rounds. And you can stay here or take it into a twist now with the right arm forward and the left hand back. And as you reach into your left fingers, keep pressing into that right heel. Feel how the breath has changed now. And then circle the left arm forward back into a high lunge. Open up into a twist again. And stay with that pattern now. Exhale, left hand comes up. Sorry, inhale. Exhale, arms open. Inhale, arms sweeps up. And we open. This time we stay, and we either stay here or we lean back. Left hand comes to back leg, and then really consciously reach from right waist to right fingers. Lots of side stretches today, creating new space. And let's flow. So the hands come down, the leg comes back. We might stay in dog. We might come through a vinyasa. Really listen to what the body needs. Because when we're connected to that, this practice can be like medicine. Back in downward facing dog. Feel your hands, feel your feet, that which roots you. And breathe into the whole body. Sigh everything out. Lift the heels, look forward. Step a walk to the front of the mat. Breathing in, flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale all the way up to stand. And we'll keep those arms overhead as we take Kali Mudra again. So pointing the fingers forward. Breathing in, we lean to the right. Come back to center. Lean to the left. Back to center. Lean to the right, lift that left leg up. Reach into the fingers as you kick into the left heel. Drop that, do the other side. Lean to the left. Lift up the right leg. And from there, can we sweep that knee upwards? Reach into the fingers and step back. And I've gone wrong. I'm really sorry. We're on the right leg. Let's kick it back. Apologies for that. Luckily, none of us are driving. So the right leg is forward, the arms lift. Breathing in, we reach tall. Exhale, we fold, drop a little bit. Inhale, reach to fingers. Exhale, dip down. Inhale, reach into fingers. And we dip down. And this time a twist. So remember, you can always stay in high lunge. So left arm forward, right arm back. Pause there for 2 breaths. And then inhale, right arm comes up. We're back in high lunge. Exhale, arms open wide for the twist. Inhale, arm circles forward and up. Exhale, we stay in a twist. And we pause there as we spread the fingers. Possibly we tilt back. And as the right arm comes back, the left arm rises up and we breathe into all that space on the left. So this can be cranky on the back, so make sure you're okay. Lengthen the tailbone down. Breathing in, fingers rise. Coming through a vinyasa and then meeting in child's pose. So forward to plank, lower to the earth. Breathing in, we rise up and then we sit back on our heels. And perhaps there's a pillow for your head with your hands. And just take a moment to pause. At the time of filming, we're just past the autumn equinox, a sacred pause that nature gives us. That midpoint between summer and autumn. That tipping point. And in traditional Chinese medicine, we associate the lungs with autumn. So feel your lungs now in the back, really opening, expanding as you inhale. Softening, contracting as you exhale. And we need that balance of open expansion and quiet reflective contraction. Just bring that into your body right now. And know that you can always stay here, or we're going to come up into downward facing dog for our next round of standing poses. Not so many today because we are going to come into a nice restorative, so we're really balanced. So in your downward facing dog, breathe in as you lift the right leg and you bend the right knee and breathe into the right waist. Notice the collapse on the left, really firm up the left arm and bring the knee to the nose, pause and step the right foot through. As the right foot comes through, drop your left heel as we're coming into warrior 2 legs now. And when your right heel is in line with the left arch of the foot, circle your left arm in front of you And then all the way back. So I'm just going to change directions to face the camera. And here we are in good old warrior two. Reach forward and then reach back. Make sure your pelvis is stable. Inhale, touch the fingers, straight right leg. Exhale, hands to prayer. Inhale, arms out. Straighten, hands to prayer. So just do that a couple of times. And then pause in warrior two as you gaze forward at the middle finger of the front hand, reach into the back fingers, and breathe into the whole body. And then lean back. As the left hand slides down the left leg, reach into your right fingers and take a huge breath in. So what we're going to do now is move between two shapes. As you inhale, bring the arms up. Keep the right knee bent, but then bring the arms over, but don't let them land. So it's as if we're reaching for something. And then we reverse the warrior again. So from the waist down, we're just moving the arms. Exhale, right arm reaches, left arm like you're holding a big beach ball. And then we come back. And this time we stay. So right arm forward, left arm hovering there. Just take a huge breath in. And then we take the right forearm to the leg and maybe spin our heart and chest up a little bit more. Take a deep breath in. Maybe a deeper bend as you exhale. 2 more deep breaths. Notice where the breath goes in this pose. And then look to the ground as we walk. Move the feet forward a little bit and we're coming into what we call Skandasana. So bending the right knee, you might come right down to the earth. Bending the left knee, you might come right down to the earth, or you might stay quite high. So get your own rhythm going here. And this pose always reminds me of the Mary Oliver quote, let the soft animal of your body do what it loves. So you might decide to lift up an arm as well. Just explore, just moving into our joint. And then let's come into a forward fold. The hands are flat, the head folds, feel your feet and just breathe, just this breath. And this breath, notice everything else that's pulling you out. Hands to hips, pause, all the way up to stand. And take a moment as you stand to feel the energy settling again. Maybe close your eyes. And turn the right foot forward. This time we're coming into triangle pose. The right hand slides down the leg as the left arm lifts. Lean your upper body back a bit. Press into your little toes. Feel the inner thighs rotate outwards now and reach into your fingers. Maybe you look up as you take 4 very solidly spacious breaths. And one more breath. Look down to the right foot. Lift yourself back up. 2 straight legs. Coming into reverse triangle now. Take your left hand to the right waist and just reach into your right fingers. And as you reach into your right fingers, can you breathe into the left hand? And again, this is just connecting to yourself, the body, the muscles, the tissues. Right now, what are you experiencing? Just note it. And now from here, you can either come back into triangle, maybe you're ready for a half moon. The fingers come to the ground, the left leg rises, kick into the left heel. Left arm rises maybe to sky. And if you're steady today, you might look up. Just keep breathing. And then very gracefully, can we land back in our warrior two? And this is for 1 breath only as we frame our front foot. We once again come through our vinyasa. So last lot of standing poses, then we come into some restorative. So let's lift that left leg up. Let's bend the left knee. Make sure you're really firm on the right side, breathing into the left waist. Look forward, knee to nose. And step the foot through. Drop the back heel, warrior two legs, circle the arm forward. And coming into warrior two. But it felt a bit clunky last time, so we're doing it different this time. As we inhale, straight leg, hands to prayer. And exhale, arms out wide, much more straightforward. Inhale to center. Exhale out. Two more of those. Almost like we're drawing the energy back into our hearts. And then we release it back to the world. That connection to ourself. And then to that which surrounds us. One more time. And then pause in Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Look forward. Feel fingers and toes on the front and the back. Breathe into the whole body. And lean back. Right hand slides down the leg. Left arm lifts. And we breathe into that left lung. So what we do next is strong for the core. If it was too much, just take your forearm to the thigh. Otherwise, both arms sweep over, but they don't land. So we're reaching the fingers one way as we press into the back foot. We breathe our way back up again and reverse the warrior. Exhale, adding a little bit of core strength. Breathing, we come back. So nice, so steady with breath. Final time, let's lean forward. Reach into right fingers, press into right foot. Find that smoothness of breath if you can. Then the forearm comes down and suddenly that feels so much easier. As the left forearm rests, turn your heart, your chest up. Breathe all the way down the right side of the body. And then lift yourself up, straighten your left leg now, and bring the right hand to the rib cage. Reverse triangle, breathe into the right hand. A little bit out of sync here, but we'll get them all done. One more deep breath. Firm up the back leg, make sure it's holding you up. And from here, let's come into triangle pose. The left hand slides down, the right arm lifts. Look up to your right thumb, press into your little toes, and take 5 very deep, steady breaths. Last breath. Notice if you're still connected to yourself or if you've just checked out. It's very human to check out. See if you can check in again. Breathing in, we come tall. Pause, reverse your warrior. So no forward fold on this side, just reach into the fingertips. And let's come through our vinyasa. Hands come down, leg comes back. Feel your feet on the earth. Breathe your way forward. Lower to the earth. Breathe into rise. And back to downward facing dog. And pause in your downward facing dog. Little bend in the knees. Step or hop towards the front of the mat. Breathe in, flat back. Breathe out to fold. Breathe in all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to heart. So we're just going to play with something that we did earlier, but add on a little bit. So maybe you have bricks either side. We will be going back into half moon, but not quite the same with the feet. So the feet are facing forward, which is not usual. So if it doesn't feel right, make it feel right for you. And as we breathe in, we lift the arms up. As we exhale, we lean to the left, we press into the right heel. We'll reach into the right fingers. Inhale, we rise. We do that on the other side. Something around. We've been here before. We lean to the left. Maybe this time we pick up the right leg. Know that balancing is wobbling sometimes. We come back. We lean to the right. We pick up the left leg. And that might be where you stay. But in the final round, we come, but we eventually tip down into half moon. So we're lifting up the right leg, but we're slowly opening up the arms and we're not rushing to get there. So think journey, not destination. Really use your core strength. So this is unusual. The left foot is not placed in its usual way, but just try it out for size. And if it doesn't feel right, change it. So breathing in and breathing out. One more deep breath. And see if you can lift up with your core. This is hard. Pull your tummy in over the fingers. Very strengthening for your hips, and drop it down. Take a moment to land. Feel all that energy flowing down the legs, the arms. Breathe in, arms rise. And we tilt to the right, this time leading as we lift up the left leg. Slowly we open our arms wide. Use the core, really pull your tummy in. And again, we're in half moon. You might look up, you might look down. And you breathe. A lot of hip stuff today as well. Also really helps us ground when we work with our hips. 2 more breaths. And coming out, we're still present as we pull our tummy in. See how slow you can come up. And you're at home, so you don't have to look graceful. Let's come all the way down. I'm sure you do. And let's sway it all out. Let's tap our kidneys, release the arms, shake it all out, shake it all out. And one more, because we're still very much in that autumnal energy. So our next balance will be the tree pose with a difference. So standing on your right leg initially, take your heel to ankle. Maybe it goes to the shin. Maybe it goes to the thigh. I'm very wobbly today, so see how this goes. And we'll take our hands to prayer again. And press those fingertips together as you look down to the ground. Feel the breath. Remember, this is all about connection. That right foot is rooting you, connecting you to the earth. Take your left hand now and turn it face up on the thigh. Remember the mudra earlier, cross finger, the index finger and thumb. Lift your right arm up towards the sky. Establish your breath. And then lean. I say towards the garden, but you don't know that my garden's there. So just lean to the left. And breathe. And trees wobble, so know that that's normal. Come all the way up to stand. Take that right hand down, take the left foot down, and just shift the weight from foot to foot. Let's see how you are on the other side today. So left leg is the standing leg. Remember, there's no judgment. I'm just here to see how we are today. That's all. We're checking in, we're connecting. And some days we connect to ourselves and find that we don't feel good. So we're just acknowledging whatever's going on. Hands to prayer. Look down to the ground. 3 full deep breaths. Right hand rests on the right thigh, taking the chin mudra, so index finger and thumb touching. Left arm lift. And again, maybe we wobble, maybe we lean just a little bit to the right. And we rise up. And we take the hand down, we take the foot down, and we release. So we're going to come into some restorative poses now. These are so lovely for when we're feeling a bit depleted, a bit tired. They really restore the body's natural energy balance, and they're just nice to do now and again. So we will need props now, and as I said earlier, it will be a bolster for the first one, or some cushions, whatever you have that's available to you. And our first pose is a supported fish. So I will demonstrate. The bolster comes to the small of the back. Have your legs crossed if you wish, or you could have feet together, knees wide, or you could have your legs long. And we take ourselves back. We're looking for a really big heart opening pose. So if you find, as where I am now, that this is too strong, you might take another cushion just to the back of the head, or you might have the cushions supported with a little lift of bricks. So we're going to be here for 2 minutes in total. If you've got your legs crossed, I'll tell you halfway through and you can recross them the other way. And we're going to do a breath here called climbing breath, because I spoke about the lungs earlier. Climbing breath is really good for opening up the lung tissue. So very good if you have COPD or asthma. And how we do climbing breath is we breathe into the center of the heart, breathe in a little bit more on top, then take a long exhale out. And this gives us something to focus on to stop our mind from drifting. So it's a two-part breath in, a long, long, full breath out. And I'm going to remove my voice now for you to just practice connecting to your breath again. And if the mind just will not be still today, try repeating, I am breathing in, I am breathing out. And if you do have your shins or ankles crossed, just recross them now for the sake of balance for this final minute. I am breathing in, I am breathing out. Staying with that two-part breath in if you can. And take 3 more deep breaths now, allowing each breath to get a little deeper, a little fuller. And finish with a long sighing breath out. And then from there, very slowly, come all the way up. And we're just going to come into an opposing fold. So this is going to be for 2 minutes. Now, forward folds are more demanding for our back than back bends. So in traditional yoga, it would be Paschimottanasana, where we come forward over 2 long legs. But we're going softer today. So taking the knees bent, have them over the support of a bolster, and then just come to fold. And if you can, just have something to rest your forehead on. It might be a big stack of cushions. So just kind of coming into a little cocoon here. And this is, again, very much like the energy of autumn. It's an invitation to journey inside, to hibernate and switch off all distractions of the doing, almost exhausting energy of the summer. Because we need both. We need times of being out there doing, but we also need times to be in and being. So full long breaths. This time we'll go for what we call calming breath. Breathing in for 4, breathing out for 6. And a breath count gives you something to focus your awareness on, especially when your mind is very scattered. So breathing in for 4, breathing out for 6. And again, I'm going to remove my voice now for about another minute and a half as you focus on this connection to spirit, to spiritus, to breath. Well, a meditation practice isn't about not thinking, it's about noticing your thinking. And each time you do, you very kindly remind yourself to return to the present. Stanic Hand said every breath in is an invitation to the present. Every breath out, we accept that invitation. 3 or 4 more breaths, not having a go at ourselves if we go wandering off, because that's what we do. And slowly we come up. So each of these poses are a couple of minutes each, just giving ourselves time to restore. So our next one really depends on what you have, is a side body stretch. So if you have a bolster, and you can have the bolster by your right hip, and you might need a couple of bricks at the end, and you just lengthen your spine. So you lift up your right arm, turn it away, and lengthen your body. Lie on your right arm, knees are bent. And you can either have your left hand resting on your hip, or maybe it comes over your ear. Otherwise, you might spin the bolster or cushions around the other way. So that's kind of the horizontal way, and then take your head to a pillow. So you've got a big cushion between your waist and your armpit. And same thing, your left arm might drape over the ear, or it might rest on the waist. So thinking about our lungs again today, this really creates space in your intercostal muscles, the muscles that help you breathe. When we're anxious, they get tight and we can't breathe so well. So we're making them, allowing them to receive the breath. Again, I'm just going to remove my voice while you connect to yourself for about another minute and a half. I'm breathing in. I am breathing out. And once again, take 3 very full, deep, smooth breaths in. Long, full, complete exhales out. Often we hoard the end of the breath. So really let go of the breath. Exhale it out. All the breath, all the breath, all the breath. And then as easily as you can, depending which variation of this pose you're in, we're just going to shift and turn direct, sweep into the opposite direction. We don't need to move anything, just ourselves. So again, it might be that the bolster's long ways, it might be short. Just take the other arm overhead. And give that lower part of you to the bolster. That'd be symbolic of giving yourself to the earth. Can you trust that you are being held and supported? We don't always have to be a one-person show. So soften into the pose much quicker on the second side. We have a body memory, and then we focus on breathing again. And notice if you're still connected or you've become disconnected. You're out of the body and in the mind. Without judgment, we come back. Three more deeply connected breaths. Sigh away the breath. So sometimes you don't want a choice. It's like when you try and buy a bar of chocolate, but I'm going to give you a choice for the last twist. If you have a lot of support underneath you in the form of cushions and bolsters, and you're really enjoying that kind of feeling of being held up by the earth, then you might take your twist like this. You have your bolster by your right waist. We'll start on the right because that's where our liver is. And you twist your belly button towards the center of the bolster and then you lie over it. And then you might take your head away or you might face the knees. So this is a supported twist. If you don't have quite so much in the way of props, you might come to lie on your back and bring the knees in and let them drop over to something on the right. Arms are out wide. Maybe you look in the opposite direction. Both are twists. Twists are symbolic of letting go, and that's what we're trying to do in this yoga practice. Letting go of the past, our worries about the future, and anything else that isn't here and now. And again, we take 2 minutes here. So deeply, fully breathing. And if you struggle to be in the present, as we all do, I certainly do, another way is to invoke your senses. So as you lie here with your eyes closed, what is the dominant taste in your mouth right now? What can you smell? What is your sensations of touch? Your body on the earth, the clothes on your body? And even though your eyes are closed, can you get a sense of light and dark? These ways we lose we lose our mind to find our senses. And finally, what can you hear without judging or labeling? Just notice sound. And perhaps you notice internal sound, food digesting, sound of your thoughts. And I will remove my voice again for 1 minute as you focus on your sensory awareness. And if you've drifted, just notice you've drifted and just connect to the next 3 deep breaths, making them as full and as smooth and as deep as you can. Sighing, releasing breath out. And slowly, mindfully making your way to the twist on the other side. So whichever version you took this side, just moving over to the other side. And then we're settling in again for 2 minutes. And I'm just going to read the poem now because this is our last shake before rest. And this is a poem by Claire Dubois. Whether or not you know that you are beautiful, the flowers gaze at you whenever you walk by. When your heart feels like stone and you've lost sight of all the gifts being given, you are still held by the earth beneath you and kissed by the breath of the trees. When you've convinced yourself that you're hopeless and that you simply can't fulfill the role that you were born here to play, the sky is still whispering your name, and the stars are waiting for their chance to sing to you. You are wanted here. You are part of this creation. Let your hurts melt away in the waves. Let your cries be carried away by the birds. Earth, air, fire, and water are the truth of you. And when you drop the veil and open to the greater you, you will find your fullness in the valleys and the groves and bow again to the sacred altar of your natural soul. And take 3 more deep breaths into your whole body. Sigh everything else away. So I'm going to invite you now to come into your Shavasana, and because we've done a lot of asymmetrical poses there, you might want to finish with a little hip stretch. So that will be feet together, knees wide. What a nice way to do this, I think, is to have them on the bolster. And I'm not going to cue you then to go into Shavasana. So you might, with your feet on the bolster, knees wide, find that this is a place you can stay, resting hands on hips. We don't want to overdo it though. And at some point, it just might feel natural to extend those legs. And having the bolster behind the back of the knees can be especially nice if you have a tight lower back. So make the choice be one that really serves you rather than thinking you have to always be working harder, of course, because that's something that a tendency we can fall into, perfectionism or thinking we're never enough. Maybe you wrap up warm, maybe you have a covering for your eyes. We're going to be here for about 3 or 4 minutes. And if you know that you need a longer relaxation, just switch me off now and enjoy the stillness. Something I'm sure my children fantasize they could do all the time. So coming to rest. And once again, connect back to yourself and this time that you've carved out to look after yourself. And try not to control the breath or impose any shape on it now. Let the breath be received. For you are not really the breather. Let this breath, this spirit move through you as you feel the belly rising, the chest lifting, ribs expanding. And as you breathe out, give a little bit more of yourself to the earth. And just notice that infinite pattern of expansion and opening, contraction and releasing. For just like the seasons, we have our own personal seasons and we have to have both. Let the features of your face relax, eyes roll back in socket, jaw releases, softening that space between your eyebrows. Feel the lower back release, the waist, the weightiness of your glutes, your hips, your thighs, let them descend. The backs of the knees get a little looser, and the feet. And just enjoy this feeling now of Mother Earth, Gaia, holding you so that you don't have to. And drop into that warm embrace now as you breathe into your whole body, your whole body, whole body. And start to make your breathing slightly deeper now. And connecting back to the present moment with all the sounds that you can hear in your space. Let's connect back to yourself. Place one hand on your tummy, one hand on your heart. And thank yourself for showing up. And as you connect to yourself, you might realize that this is where you need to stay for a bit longer. Otherwise, you might decide to slowly come back up to a seat. And as well as connection, we've connected to the idea today that life goes in circles. So we'll finish as we began, with one hand to your heart, one hand to the earth. Connecting to the earth, connecting to ourselves, connecting to each other. And take a huge breath in. And as you breathe out, bow the head. And then take both hands to prayer this time as we finish and complete this practice. Namaste. So thank you all for joining me today. If you want to sign up for my newsletter, you can find me at Sarah Rush Yoga. I send you a poem and little practices to your inbox every couple of weeks. I never bombard you. I'm too lazy. Lovely to see you all, and I hope to see you again. Thank you.